I'm just trying to think. It was pretty competitive. Obviously, we got 40 guys that are out there, and some relatively big names have missed the 22 from this week. So Nathan Jones and Michael Hibbert and these sort of guys were trying to get back in, and it was nice and hot. The umpires actually had to step in a few times just to tell us to back off, and it's only a practice match, which is fair enough. I mean, the boys are nice and aggressive and competitive, and disappointed they're missing out in the game, but just the normal names, I think: Clayton, Christian, Angus, these sort of guys.
Were they normal umpires?
Yeah, normal umps. Bounce the ball, they were bouncing really well. It just felt like a normal game. No big screen, which is probably why Christian played well, because normally he looks at the big screen. So,
how'd you split up the teams? Is it probably possible, or how'd you do it?
The starting 18, I think, were the starting 18 initially, and then as intra-clubs go, we've all been there. They switch jumpers throughout the game, so majority of people that are a chance for next week probably got a chance in the blue team. I haven't. I've had a captain's run once when the MCC were a little bit nicer to clubs getting the run out, but they've been extremely nice to us to have a scratch match out there today. It's good because it's our home ground. I haven't played there since I think round 20 last year, so to get back out there, I was really looking forward to playing. But to get a full training run scratch match type environment, that's going to be valuable going forward.
Environment we're talking about, where there could be short breaks leading into games and possibly players have to sit out for quarantine, is he someone like that? Obviously got dropped last week. Someone having experience like him, is it crucial to have a player like him who might pop it when he's dropped and then come back in later in the season and be huge?
To be fair on Nathan, I don't think he's putting himself. I think he's putting himself in our best 22 still. To be fair, he probably is still in our best 22 at times as well. So. I know that Nathan will play a lot of good footy this year. The call was made to get Vandenberg in this week against the Bombers, and that might not be the call for Geelong. Nathan was good out there today, so was Aaron, so was Harley as well. These sort of guys that are playing that half forward role. So I'm confident Nathan will come back and play all the games he has to. First time I saw him today. Obviously, due to all these restrictions, it's very hard to see people. But I did give him a ring straight after the news, and his first thing was, "It's all right. I'll be back next week." So that's Nathan Jones has played just under 300 games, and not many missed. I think he's missed about 20. So that's the kind of guy he is.
Who have you got in your little group?
It's a pretty star-studded group with the four inside mids there. So Angus, Christian, Clayton and Jack. And then the two wingers. We don't talk about the wingers though. So.
Max, how do you mentally prepare and adjust for a season like this, where 1 minute you're playing a fixture, next minute you're not?
It comes with it, and to be fair, AFL has been extremely lucky over the years that we purely only have to play Saturday to Saturday. A lot of competitions around the world play midweek, and it's probably something the AFL can look into, and will have to look into at some point for us to play the Bombers now. So, Darren Burgess is our fitness guru, and he's been with pretty much every soccer team, or he says he's been with every soccer team in Europe. So, and he says these guys play Saturday, Wednesday for 2-3 weeks straight. So, yeah, it's a little bit more physical, our game, but I'm looking forward to potentially testing out some midweek fixtures.
Every aspect of Connor's behaviour and training has been heavily scrutinised and criticised. What's your reaction to, I suppose, the media storm around this?
Around which, sorry?
Around Connor's having COVID-19.
Yeah.
Every part of his training regime was scrutinised and footage. Do you feel for him?
My thoughts go out to Connor. For one, I don't know him at all, but there were those stories about being homesick, and he came back and went into 2 weeks quarantine. Now potentially will have to go into another 2 weeks quarantine just to play, just to sacrifice himself to be able to play the game that we all love. So we've lost a player, unfortunately, to COVID, which is a deadly pandemic around the world. So I think that's where all of our thoughts should be to start.
What would your message be as captain if that was one of your teammates? What would you say to him?
Without knowing any of the story behind Connor, it's purely health. This is a deadly pandemic and has taken a lot of lives across the world. So it shouldn't be joked about or laughed about. It should be purely based on health, family, and making sure the guys are a good support system.
Did you
you have any thoughts on Mark Rashido's comments about Jake Lever the other day?
No. I tend to stay out of the media in terms of what is he, Triple M Rush Hour or something? I don't know what he is, but no, Rick, Jake, we call him Rick Lever. I don't know how he's got that nickname, but I don't know what Jake's on, and I'm sure Mark doesn't either. Goody said there was nowhere near the mark, and I don't think it should be talked about from that point of view. Jake's come across, unfortunately hurt his knee. He played well today, and he'll play well this year.
Max, how do you feel about another hurdle, I suppose, being placed in front of you in terms of the shorter breaks and everything? Just another one you've got to jump?
Yeah, look, I mean, we all knew when this AFL season was getting up and going that this was probably going to come at some point. I'm someone who rather play than train, so I'm looking forward to potentially a midweek fixture, like I said. I was very, very frustrated about 4 p.m. yesterday, as was probably 50,000 Melbourne fans and the rest of the players. But it is what it is, and we get a little break. And I mean, there is another time during the year where you get a little break, and it is if you win and go straight into a prelim. So potentially, this is a good little warm up for that.
Did you pull up okay after round 2 and your teammates as well in terms of if you had to play another game after a couple of days?
Yeah, I pulled up fine after round 1. I think I pulled up fine after this. You don't really know till the next day. Training on Thursday, we did a bit of almost like a half. So that's almost similar to what we could do if we played. So like Marn said before, we had 40 guys out there. No one saw from the weekend. And in fact, I think we gained a few back into training. So it's a good start.
Does the results on the weekend, does that make you even more wary of the Cats given what happened last night?
A bit going on in footy, isn't there? There's a lot of teams winning, a lot of teams lose. You can't really, I'm sure everyone's struggling with their tips. I think what is prevalent is you got to get off to a fast start. We took that quite literally last week and didn't play the rest of the 3 quarters, but the first quarter is obviously really important. So most teams that are getting that lead seem to be holding on, albeit Carlton Geelong was very, very close last night.